Rihachi Mizuno, from a shop worker to a $10 billion golf brand. When he was 18 years old, Rihachi Mizuno, an employee of a kimono shop in Osaka, Japan, attended his first baseball game in Kyoto. In 1906, he and his younger brother Rizo opened their baseball equipment store selling Western goods because they both loved the game. The company started producing its goods in 1913 to boost quality and effectiveness. Mizuno started making golf equipment in 1933, calling its initial models Starline. In 1934, Mizuno established a small factory in the vicinity of Osaka, Japan, to produce golf clubs, skis, baseball bats, balls, and uniforms. The business kept growing into other sports, and in 1943, it started making tennis equipment. When Mizuno began selling its golf clubs in Europe in the 1970s, a reputation for manufacturing the highest caliber sporting goods was born. Stay tuned till the end to know more about the journey and rise of Rihachi Mizuno, from a shop worker to a $10 billion brand. Industry-leading performance tech from baseball. Over the following 70 years, Mizuno would significantly expand its product line, producing gear and apparel for sports like tennis, golf, skiing, track and field, boxing, soccer, and less popular ones like handball. Mizuno initially focused primarily on selling baseball equipment. Although Mizuno had been in the business for more than 60 years, it wasn't until the international running boom of the 1970s that it truly committed itself to meticulous scientific footwear research. The ultimate goal was to maximize athletic performance. Mizuno produced 5 significant advancements in the 1980s that helped shape the company into what it is today. This eventually resulted in the development of the Mizuno Wave, which is the company's most well-known invention. The magical cloth midsole, introduced in 1985, was the first to promote stability and combat overpronation and oversupination, excessive inward and outward foot rolling that happens when the foot meets the ground and can result in injuries. The impact of the technology, according to Tayaka Kimura, chief engineer at Mizuno, far outweighed its intended purposes at the time. It was the middle of the first function war, where everyone was competing by using new materials to increase the cushioning, he says. Mizuno also jumped into the shoe industry's material competition with this product. The following year, Mizuno improved the original magical cloth midsole design by creating sorbothane, a highly absorbent substance that cushioned the heel against impact. 3 years later, Transpower was created by further improving sorbothane. Impact to the heel is transformed into explosive running force by Transpower, using sorbothane and H2, a substance that was originally used in golf balls. Transtar was created when Mizuno expanded his technology to the midfoot. Finally, in 1993, Mizuno introduced Dynamic Foot Contour, which combined cushioning, stability, and impact absorption into a single plate sole that covered the forefoot, midfoot, and heel. Mizuno taps into the golf industry. At the time, irons were often forged from a single mold, emerging tough and needing a lot of hands honing, a technique that led to inconsistent results. To locate a 9-iron that he was content to use, a tour pro might have to order 10 sets. The forging method used by Mizuno, which employed 2 molds, was more precise and required little manual grinding. From head to head, consistency was significantly higher, making performance on the course more predictable. Although Mizuno continues to use their superior forging technology in their irons, they are quite optimistic about the future. The distinctive Mizuno feel is a result of the forging process. Every golfer can find a model in one of the new iron lines. Beginning at the beginning, every golfer may locate and fit into a pair of Mizuno irons, whether they are a weekend warrior or a professional. Mizuno didn't begin to perfect the still-in-use forging technique until the late 1980s. Mizuno uses a proprietary grain flow forging procedure with a single steel billet. Some of the most dependable and pure irons are produced by this 6-step procedure. Mizuno invested in precise manufacturing methods to ensure that tour players would want to play its irons by choice. Other manufacturers relied on players paying them to use their equipment, on both the US PGA and European tours. Mizuno irons were frequently the most used brand. The manufacturer's strategy has built a reputation that outlasts any particular player, and it is still run by the Mizuno family. Several major tournament victories have featured Mizuno irons, notably all 6 of Nick Faldo's, all 4 of Brooks Koepka's, and Tiger Woods' initial victory at the Masters in 1997. Mizuno has also tapped into the influencer economy. Mizuno noticed early on the gravitation towards social media stars and the products that they used. They sponsor talented creators like Garrett Clark and Grant Horvat. The golf influencers make content on all platforms and garner hundreds of millions of views, and in every video, a Mizuno club is in the hand of either star. To put things into perspective, between Garrett's and Grant's personal YouTube channels, over 200 million people have viewed their channel. The history of Mizuno sometimes reads like a scientific journal rather than the tale of a sportswear company. The Japanese company has spent decades investing in scientific research to create market-leading sporting goods, and its efforts have been successful. As a result, Mizuno is closely associated with sports and athletic achievement, particularly in Japan. Rihachi Mizuno's ability to innovate and adapt. In the 8 years between 1985 and 1993, Mizuno made significant progress on paper, but in practice, their products had gotten bigger, heavier, and more expensive with each advancement. Rihachi Mizuno was inspired to find the company in the United States in 1906, so Kimura went back there to gather the company's technology into a more manageable system. The result, as we mentioned earlier, was the Mizuno Wave technology, which was included in the brand new Wave Rider sneaker that was introduced in 1998. We couldn't figure it out for the life of us. We examined every product, including consumer goods and electronics. We disassembled everything. Lead product designer for the original Wave Rider, Tuan Lee, says, "We did everything we could, but as soon as we discovered the solution, we thought, oh, the solution is so simple." The Wave Rider marked a return to simplicity after Mizuno's footwear had become more complicated. Lee continues, Nike Air was the exact opposite of this Wave technology. The Wave plate stretches out upon impact and propels the runner forward as it returns to its regular wave shape, unlike Nike Air, which was a large airbag that cushioned the impact of running. Lee adds that Japan served as a significant source of inspiration for the Wave Rider project. He says, "I always tried to make sure that the designs reflected the distinctiveness of Japan culture and the brand. For instance, a design carrying a sharp yet simple sense of beauty, or a design drawing out the strength of the functionality." He asserts that his initial visit to Kyoto still has an impact on his life and career now. Sport Style is Mizuno's newest line of footwear, fusing decades of scientific research with new, updated Mizuno designs that are firmly rooted in contemporary style. Sport Style is Mizuno's distinctive take on modern sneakers. It is inspired by the pure thrill of discovery and the chance to apply the brand's cutting-edge technology in new ways. Mizuno has gathered a group of like-minded sneaker-obsessed brands and retailers from across Europe and Japan under the banner of Kazuko, which is the Japanese word for family. Members have access to brand new limited edition Mizuno releases and participate in one-off collaborations with the company. But its overreaching goal is to revive sneaker design and create a shared vision for the future of worldwide sneaker culture. Greater relevance than ever for Mizuno. People are becoming more and more interested in authentic brands. They're sick of labels existing only as a component of the hype circle, and they want brands to be accountable for the effects of their offerings on people and communities. Business of Fashion stated in a trend forecast that this is a generation that has higher expectations on what a company should be able to deliver, before outlining a brand's future value orientation as essential to pleasing young consumers today. In light of this, Mizuno may be more globally relevant to this generation than any other brand before it, since it upholds the core ideals. It is devoted to investigation, experimentation, and invention while maintaining a firm foundation in its Japanese tradition. Over the past 100 years, it has steadfastly pursued high-quality performance goods while supporting sports and athletes. The Mizuno Environment label encourages environmentally responsible conduct and the creation of environmentally friendly products. The Japanese Ministry of Labor even conferred the title of Master Craftsman to 2 of its longest tenured designers. Together, these deeds and honors imply that the company is genuinely dedicated to foot and sportswear, as opposed to only trying to turn a quick profit on their behalf. Although it's simple to think that the market is overrun by mediocre partnerships, Kunai argues that they continue to play a significant role in the sneaker industry. The significance of partnerships in the sneaker industry has changed over the years. We collaborated in the late 90s to distinguish the brands or shops from rivals. There was almost no collaboration when I started my career in this industry. Sneaker design has more design options because artists can use their identities to create something distinctive. Localization is what is most crucial. Authentic relationships like these are welcome at a time when sneaker and streetwear culture is undergoing a significant period of change. The passioner Shugor says, "Things move pretty quickly now, but Kazuku stands for loyalty. In good times and in bad, we stick together as a family." That's it for the video. Feel free to share your opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon to stay updated with our weekly videos.